The story of Nate's choices. Nate Parker never thought he'd end up in prison. Growing up, he was the guy everyone thought would make something of himself. Teachers praised his smarts, friends admired his confidence, and his family counted on his loyalty. But one reckless decision, one desire to live on the edge, and everything changed. It started with small acts. Sneaking out, skipping school, petty thefts. Each choice seemed harmless, just a way to feel a little more alive. Nate convinced himself he was untouchable. He told himself he could stop anytime. But he was wrong. One night, desperate for cash and too deep into a fast crowd, he took a job as a lookout for a robbery. The plan was simple, just in and out. But things went south fast. The cops arrived, shots were fired, and people got hurt. Nate froze. In that moment, he realized he'd crossed a line he could never uncross. Nate was sentenced to 15 years. Life inside the walls. Prison was a harsh, unforgiving place. He woke up to the clanging of metal doors, the heavy footsteps of guards, and the constant noise of other inmates. Gone were the simple pleasures of home, the freedom to walk outside, or even to open a door when he wanted. Every moment was controlled, and every choice was taken from him. In his first month, Nate was confronted with the brutal reality of prison. There was no privacy, no softness. Fights erupted over small slights, trust was non-existent, and everyone was out for themselves. Nights were the hardest, alone in his cell, haunted by the choices that had led him here. Nate made a friend in his cellmate, Jamal, a wise man who had been behind bars for over a decade. Jamal told Nate his own story, a similar tale of bad choices and broken lives. "I wasted my life on the wrong road," Jamal would say, "but you don't have to. Think about what you'd do differently when you get out. Remember this place? Lessons learned." Years went by. Nate spent countless hours thinking about his choices and what he'd lost. The freedom to see his family, to live without fear, to shape his own life. All were gone because of one reckless night. One day, he started keeping a journal, writing down every regret, every lesson, every painful realization. He wrote about his dreams, his hopes to make amends, and more than anything, he wrote warnings to anyone who might think crime was worth the risk. "Crime isn't freedom," he wrote. "It's a trap that locks you into a life you can't escape. Don't romanticize it. Don't think you're smarter or luckier than everyone else. Because one mistake, one moment of selfishness, can cost you everything. And when it does, there's no going back." Advice from behind bars. As the years went on, Nate shared his story with anyone who would listen. He wanted people to understand that crime only leads to pain and regret. He wanted young people to know that the thrill of crime is temporary, but the consequences are real and lasting. "Remember this," he would say to anyone considering the path he took. "Nothing is worth losing your freedom, your family, or your future. Make choices you'll be proud of, not ones you'll spend your life regretting. Trust me, one night of adrenaline is never worth a lifetime behind bars."